On March 4th, 2024, Roblox shocked the world by announcing that they were doing an egg hunt-like event. This caught many off guard, seeing as Roblox had never provided this sort of user interaction in many years. This was because Roblox became a corporate company a few years back and essentially had to bow down to investors' will. And so with this level of hype surrounding the event, Roblox had to deliver, or else this event would go down as a huge disappointment. Unfortunately, the event didn't live up to its standards, and some people are now saying that it was overhyped.
And how I think that this is the worst Roblox event that has ever been hosted in Roblox history.
The longer the hunt goes on, the more people realize that it's not actually that good.
Compared to a regular dev hunt, which aren't overly popular to begin with, the hunt has far less going for it.
Before we discuss why the hunt failed, we need to have some background. The first ever Roblox egg hunt was hosted in March 2008, and during the hunt, you would simply hunt for virtual eggs. These eggs were hidden throughout multiple Roblox games, and in 2022, some of the eggs from previous egg hunts went limited, meaning you could sell them for Robux. Every year after that, excluding 2009 and 2011, would feature an egg hunt, with the event coming to an end in 2020 after Roblox found that it could be too repetitive. Roblox didn't exactly go out strong with 2020's egg hunt, with there being a whole page of criticism on the Roblox wiki about the hunt. And so following this failure, Roblox would replace the egg hunt with the Metaverse Champions event, which garnered backlash from the community as the event took a futuristic approach. And so Roblox, tired of all the backlash, responded with no event for 3 years until this year's egg hunt, or just hunt, as you'll soon find out why. On February 29th, Roblox would tweet out a picture of 2 blue fire emojis captioning the post, "Death fades, only glory endures. From the icy depths, his march begins, tomorrow." Now, this would turn out to be a promotion for the Roblox Deathwalker, but that very same day, something interesting on the Roblox navigation page popped up, being labeled The Hunt. While this didn't necessarily confirm an egg hunt, a Roblox admin by the name of AdamW3D was revealed to have models resembling the egg hunt in their inventory. This was when people began to believe that an egg hunt was happening, and the hype surrounding the event would expand to massive levels. Then, on March 4th, Roblox dropped a bombshell that was the fact that this event, unknown at the time, would begin on March 15th. 2 days later, Roblox would upload an 11-second sneak peek of the hunt, with Creecraft pointing out that one of the frames included a dimly lit egg-shaped object. There were no further important announcements after this, but on the bright side, we learned what games were going to be in the hunt. A lot of the games were expected, such as Blade Ball and Adopt Me. Most of them were good, but some of them, not so much. Sonic Speed Simulator, Military Tycoon, SpongeBob Simulator, and Twilight Daycare were 4 of the games included in the hunt, but there was only one problem. These games were owned by GameFam. In case you don't know what GameFam is, they're a Roblox game studio infamous for having a bad work environment and not giving their employees fair pay. But they had only 4 games out of the many in the hunt, so people seemed to let it go. And so with that being the only problem, the hunt would officially begin on March 15th, and right off the bat, there were some more problems. First off was the fact that the hunt featured a breathtaking 100 games, far more than any previous hunt had featured. Now, this would be justified if the incentive for completing the hunt was good, but instead of rewarding players with eggs for completing the quests, Roblox did something different. If you've been paying attention to this event, or rather its name, you'll know that it's called The Hunt instead of Egg Hunt 2024. And despite there being an egg-shaped object shown in the trailer of the hunt, this wasn't a clear indicator that this was an egg hunt. For all we know, that round thing shown in a single frame of the trailer wasn't an egg, but rather something different. As for what this mysterious round thing actually is, I have no idea. Anyways, this year, Roblox provided us with something different. A dev hunt. In this year's hunt, every time you completed the game's dev hunt task, you would receive a badge from that game. As you collected more and more of these badges, you would unlock different avatar items, such as the Staff of the Vault Explorer at 20 badges, or the Vault Explorer's Cowl at 60. However, if you paid 800 Robux, you would unlock the Gold Track. This game pass allowed you to receive special items that were slightly modified and retextured gold for the same requirements as the free ones. Now, this is where our first problem occurs. stars. If you completed the hunt without buying the gold pass, you would only be able to accumulate 7 avatar items. 8 if you happen to be in the same lobby as a star creator, in which case you might get the Vault Star headphones. Now, had you gotten the gold pass, managed to get every badge, and happened to snag some Vault Star headphones, you would have ended up with 14 rewards. This amount of rewards paled in comparison to previous hunts, or egg hunts for that matter. Egg Hunt 2020 featured 53 obtainable eggs, while Egg Hunt 2019 had 58, with all hunts before that, excluding 2008 and 2010, featuring no less than 20 eggs. Not to mention the fact that the hunt featured the largest amount of games in return for the smallest amount of rewards out of any hunt. And so this left people generally dissatisfied with the fact that they had to grind harder than ever before for a measly 14 rewards, 8 if they had no Robux. Also, previously, there were no egg hunts where you would have to pay to unlock extra eggs. Outside of these rewards, Roblox released some limited edition avatar items that were linked to the hunt, but this would backfire as these items were seen as overpriced. Not a single one of these items cost less than 500 Robux, and by far, the most Scrooge-like item in this release was the Vault Sword Pack. If you've spent a good chunk of time around Roblox, you've probably heard of the classic sword pack, a popular back accessory costing a fair 150 Robux. Well, Roblox released a retexture of this item for the hunt with barely any modifications for a breathtaking 36,000 Robux. Despite this sword pack costing the equivalent of $450, more than a Nintendo Switch, some people still bought it with the anticipation that it would go limited. However, Roblox would go on to clarify that the Vault Sword Pack was not going limited, which caused an uproar in the Roblox community. Fortunately, Roblox took notice of the backlash and revoked this statement, and the Vault Sword Pack became limited. But still, many people seem to dislike the item, and its hefty price caused it to only be bought 326 times. Not long after the release of the Vault Sword Pack, Roblox released the Vault Commando, which again was a retexture, this time of the Camo Commando. This retexture was 40,000 Robux, even more than the Vault Sword Pack, and showed that Roblox didn't learn from their previous mistakes. It sold pretty well, however, nearly 2,000 times, but will lose value immediately after going limited. Roblox had been receiving plenty of backlash about the hunt up to now, and to try and redeem themselves, they added the Infinite Egg as a prize. Now, people were hyped about this prize, considering it was an egg, but there was only one problem. The Infinite Egg required 100 badges to unlock. This meant that you had to complete every single game to unlock it, which raised many problems. The first was that some of the quests couldn't be completed by younger users due to age restrictions on certain games. The second was the fact that console players would be unable to get the egg due to some of the games in the hunt not supporting console players. The third was that the egg requiring 100 badges to get didn't even make sense, as in an FAQ on the hunt page, they specified that they weren't making you get every badge. Fortunately, Roblox took notice of their mistake and lowered the badge requirement to 95. But that wasn't the only mistake they made, as they disappointed everyone with the launch of the egg. Shortly before the Infinite Egg was released, a rocket ship would fly in the sky over the Hunt Hub, and you could use a telescope to view it. People were interested in what this mysterious ship was all about, with many speculating that it was some sort of huge live event. This was never confirmed by Roblox, but still, the event was hyped up a ton, with many excited about this rocket ship and what it could be. So you can imagine everyone's disappointment when the rocket landed and all they got was an egg with an insane badge requirement to acquire. By this point, a lot of people had finished the hunt and a lot of people were around to share their final verdict. Creecraft did a 24-hour live stream completing the hunt in its entirety, with him saying that he thought the hunt was great. Other creators weren't so optimistic. On March 17th, Roblox YouTuber Chiseled played some of the hunt on stream for a few hours, with him giving his opinion on the event on Twitter after, deeming it as mid. Some people in his replies agreed with him, with others disagreeing, arguing that it was at least better than no event. Schlep, another popular Roblox YouTuber, said that Roblox did nothing for the hunt and went in depth on why. He would first call out the design of the hub for the event, as it bared an uncanny resemblance to the hub used in the Innovation Awards game. Next, Schlep would call out the lack of rewards provided for completing all the games, which we went over earlier. He would lastly call out Roblox for allowing some of the games to have some of the worst quests to get badges. He would use Pet Simulator 99 as an example, with the game having you reach Zone 20 to get the badge, not even trying to make their quest unique. This is adding to the fact that Pet Simulator 99 and their devs don't have the best reputation in the community and was looked down upon just like how GameFam was. Schlepp concluded his post by stating that he would not be finishing the hunt, but he did congratulate game developers for creating amazing experiences for their games. A few days later, he would upload a video to his commentary channel expressing his distaste in further detail. He would call out more games that didn't put much effort into their quests, such as Snowboarding Simulator, where all you would do is AFK for 15 minutes to get the badge. Schlepp would conclude his video by accusing the hunt of being a cash grab, with his examples being the pricey Roblox Deathwalker and the Vault Sword Pack. While he was very brash against Roblox, he said that they were taking a step in the right direction. But he seemed to doubt that Roblox would have another good event and that they would continue making bad events. Now, moving on to what the community thought of the event, the consensus was that the hunt was a pretty mid event. I asked you guys in a community post what you thought of the hunt, and over 70% thought that the event was okay. And so with that being said, I've concluded that the hunt as a whole was an average event. Anyone who thoroughly liked the event is an outlier, but anyone who thoroughly disliked the event is also an outlier. But here's one thing that everyone should know about the hunt. It didn't have to succeed. In a tweet put out by Bloxy News, it is stated that Roblox was testing the waters with the hunt, with it being the first of many events to come in the following months. This is good news, sure, but these further events could be diluted by their inferior predecessor, causing them to be overlooked. I think that the hunt wasn't a good event, but it was one thing, a start. A start to a run that may start slow, but could slowly start picking up steam and could be a comeback for Roblox's reputation. Recently, David Bazooka asked people on Twitter for feedback regarding the hunt, as he felt that feedback could help improve Roblox events in the future. I'm sure that everyone is aware of the direction that Roblox has taken in recent years, and as I said earlier, Roblox tends to bow down to the will of investors. But this post by David shows that Roblox may be starting to listen to the player base and could be a sign of what's to come in the future. While this year's egg hunt, or dev hunt for that matter, didn't succeed, it's not the end, and it certainly gives the Roblox community one thing: hope. Now you may be wondering, Green, if the event didn't fail, why did you put it in the title? For some reason, negativity seems to get more views than positivity in the Roblox YouTube sphere, and I'm sure other content creators can relate. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, like and subscribe if you want to, and I wish the best of luck to Roblox for future events.